There's something that I learned on how not to lose my first love. And what I learned is David prayed something. He said, restore unto me the joy of my salvation. Now, if David could lose it and have to pray, restore it, I knew immediately, I am not better than him. I could lose it too. How many of you love Jesus for real, for real? You know, he said, to the church of Ephesus, he said, I love all these good works that you do. But in doing all of these works, you've forgotten one thing. And I have this one thing against you. You've forgotten your first love. Let us not be so caught up in the works of religion, in the works of tradition or the church, that we lose that childlikeness that we had in the beginning, that first love that we had in the beginning. Look at your neighbor and say, don't lose that. And you see, there's something that I learned on how not to lose my first love. And what I learned is David prayed something. He said, restore unto me the joy of my salvation. Now, if David could lose it and have to pray, restore it, I knew immediately, I am not better than him. I could lose it too. And you see, we've all had this where the love was so fresh in the beginning with the Lord. It was so innocent. It wasn't even about the things that God did for us. It was just that God showed up for us. It wasn't even that he did something, it's just that he was there. And that was enough. But somewhere down the road, things became more about the things than him. And it became about what I get out of him or what I could do for him. But what if I told you that when he first saved you, he didn't say, now you better work your way up to me. He met you right where you was at. And somewhere down the road, we got into a works-based relationship with the Lord, when the relationship was initiated by his finished work. And it became about the works that we forgot the God whom we work for. Say it's about him. Say don't lose your first love. So you know what I learned? I learned to go and win the lost, to remind me of what he did before. To remind me about what it felt like in the beginning. Restore unto me the joy of my salvation. When you know what he brought you out of, you don't care about how you worship. You don't care about how somebody else worship. When you know what you came from, you lose any form of composure. Become like David, and you become even more undignified than this. And you realize, Lord, I was a wretch. I was the chief of sinners. Got time to be judging somebody else. I know what I went through. I know what I did. And I know that he took me out of it. So if he could take me, he could take you. You get my point? Come on, somebody say, restore unto me the joy of my salvation. Say, restore my first love, Lord. Come on. That innocence, that joy. Listen, I tell you the truth, religion is boring. If you hate religion, welcome to the club. the hub. It isn't about religion. See, religion is stale bread. Religion lives in yesterday. What God once did. But see, faith says, if you did it yesterday, you are the same today and tomorrow and forever. And the same God that I knew then, who showed up once, will turn around and do it again. You get what I'm saying? So religion is the God who was. Jesus is the God who is and is to come. So yes, he was, but he is, and he is to come. And see, revival is not a monument. Revival is a movement. And what happens is we take a move of the Spirit and we build monuments. And we only look then with no reality of what God is doing now. So, when do you become a carrier of revival? Now. But we say, well, no. You have to go through step A, B, C, D, E. And we see what religion does? It delays the work of God. Whew. I love the story of the Ethiopian eunuch. Philip, an angel talks to Philip. Say an angel. What if I told you angels are trying to get a hold of you, but you're too religious, you can't even listen to them? Or as a matter of fact, the angels like, we ain't even gonna talk to them, they ain't gonna do nothing. See, Philip was on the road doing the work of the gospel when an angel met him and said, hey, you see that Ethiopian guy in the desert? Go talk to him. It says the angel of the Lord spoke to Philip, and then Philip went. And it says, and Philip overheard him reading Isaiah 53. And as the eunuch was reading Isaiah 53, he said, who is this guy? He had a hard life. A man of many sorrows, acquainted with grief, bruised for our iniquities, and his chastisement was for our peace. He bore our sickness and infirmities. Who is this man? He's like, yeah, I'm reading this thing. Do you get it? He said, yes. He got in his cart and said, it says he preached Jesus to him. Say, preach Jesus. Now watch this. He preached Jesus and the eunuch responded. There's water right there. What stops me from getting baptized? Now, first of all, water in a desert. There was a pond in the desert, and they just so happened to walk by it, or drive by it, or ride by it. I don't know. You see, I love the eunuch. Let me teach you something. You want to stop living in the past as a Christian? Go and win some souls. Go to the lost, because the lost don't want to just hear about what was. They say, well, what about now? What can he do now?